Okay, so last night in the gym we were doing some drills where we used the inner circle on the Boxercise footwork training system. And when I point this down, the camera down, you're going to see that there are some cups there. Now, I know what some of you are going to think. Yeah, I've seen the cups drill before. This is the point. It's not important that there are cups there. It's important what you do with them. They're targets and visual aids to help you get your feet in the right place. I'll point it down, have a look. Okay, so you can see that there are cups here. Now, the distance that you set these apart is important. With beginners, my recommendation would be you need to put them around about 2 foot lengths, like this, 2 foot lengths apart from the center cone and 6 others around the side. 6 seems to work really well. Now, once somebody gets a bit better, then you're going to put them around about 1.5 foot lengths, like I've got these here. You can't really go to 1 foot length because you can't get your foot in there. But don't start your beginners with 1.5 feet because it's too difficult. So start with 2 and then move them in. Okay, the first drill that we're going to do with this, and this is where we've got to be accurate. So I'll face towards the camera, you'll hear my voice, but really it's my feet you should be looking at and not the rest of me. When I'm in my stance should be this length apart. So it's going to be 2 feet lengths apart. And what I'm going to do when I'm moving around like this, I'm going to step in here, there. Now this has got to be precise. I'm between here and here, dead on this line. Absolutely spot on that line. Now watch the position of my heel. This is very, very important. There. Now that heel, because this is a hinge joint, it does not want to rotate. So that's going to point out at the angle to which I'm going to escape. So if this is at the correct angle there, it's exactly halfway between these two here. So from there, my foot is more or less at 45 degrees. I hit there, and this is then going to push, which will push me into the correct position for the next move. So if I look at this from here like this to there. Now, make sure your back foot lands at the same time as your front foot. There. It lands. Don't do this. Both feet must land. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this, and there are different schools of thoughts. Some people will lengthen the stance and then push like this. I don't like that because it becomes 2 moves. I want you to be able to move quickly and effectively. So 1 move is better. So from there, boom, boom. And again, boom, boom. There. And you can do this. Do 2 circles maximum. I usually just do 1. I don't want anybody getting dizzy whilst doing this. So this is doing this drill firstly in isolation with these as targets. And that's what this is for. These lines here are to ensure your stance separation. So that's moving to the lead foot, as all footwork should be done first. Your second drill is then going to be to move to your back foot. So in the same stance, the same forward position, you're going to aim here now, like this, and you're going to push off your back foot. This is active. Now when you're doing this, if you're doing this, there's 2 points I should make. 1, if you're going to do your footwork drills, you need to be in your boxing boots, okay? If you've got boxing boots, now is the time to wear them when you're doing a footwork drill. If you're doing other drills, yeah, that's fine, and do them on your trainers. But if there's ever a time that you're going to wear your boxing boots, it's right now. That's when you're going to do it. Secondly, keep both your heels off the floor. If you're landing on your heel, you're too slow. It's different for the heavyweights. I know they're much, much bigger people. But try to keep both of your heels off the floor, and especially keep the back heel off the floor all the time. Now when you move forwards into this position here, you're then going to, this angle here, across, is going to push out this way. And it wants to be exactly halfway between the 2 cups once again. So once again, we step to there and then push. Once again. And we have to be precise. We want to be exactly here. And we want to be exactly here. And until such time as we are precise, we don't then go to the next stage. So the next stage that we're going to do with this is what we're going to do is we're going to now add a punch. Now, when we add the punches to this, when we move to the lead foot, we should be finishing with the lead hand because that's the direction that you're going. If you try and go the other way, you're turning your body one way, then the other way, you end up in the middle on the center line for longer than you need to be. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. I call it dead space. Other coaches have different names for it, but I call that dead space. You're caught in dead space doing nothing, and you're in range and you're in trouble. So, if I want to go this way, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera back now so you can see the punches, but I want you to look at the footwork as well. Okay, so in the top part of your shot, you can probably see that I've pulled the rope out of the way so the camera's got a better angle. And what I'm going to do is I'll do this facing the camera first. And what we're going to do, the combination we're going to throw, hopefully you can see the whole thing there, is we're going to throw 1, 2, 3. The staple diet of damn near every boxer. And what we're going to do is we're going to step in on 3, because after 2, they've moved backwards. And we need to step in to counter that shorter lever and that shorter punch there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, and then as we move forward we go 3, and we be precise with this foot, okay? So there's number 3, then we escape, then we repeat, and now we do this a little bit more fluidly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Okay? Once again, to the lead foot first because it's easier. When we move to the back foot, we want to be stepping in on number 3, but then when we get to here, let me get in the right position first. We go from here 1, 2, be precise with your footwork here. 3, then we're going to throw a 2 because generally the other opponent's head has moved backwards. Some people would say throw punch number 4. I like number 2 in this position because they've generally moved backwards because one of these shots at least has hit them. Then you're going to go 2, the weight is on this front leg, and then you're going to use this to push accurately out to this side here. There, 2, there. 1, 2, 3, 2, push. 1, 2, 3, 2, push. You've got to be precise. You've got to be razor sharp precise with this drill before you then go into doing this in sparring. Now, doing something in isolation is good. Then you do it with punches. That's a progression. Then, if you're able to do this, that's when you go into doing something with interference. Now, with interference is when you do it with sparring. So I'm going to show you a couple of clips from last night. We didn't video this last night, but I'll show you the clips that we did last night. And you're going to see some cases where it was done particularly well, and you'll see some cases where it wasn't done quite so well, because doing it with interference is much more difficult. So we did that as a conditioned spar, as a drill. Now what you'll see in one of the shots is you'll see that one of the guys actually does this in 2 moves. And the reason for that is, and you'll see this clearly, what happens is he lands with his foot here instead of here. So instead of being able to move out to this angle, he has to land, adjust, and then move. Now that's something that he's going to be working on. So he's going to be doing this at home, because these are drills that we should be able to do. But if you want to escape to different angles, these are the sort of drills you need to do. Once you've practiced these things, then after that, it's a very good time to start to alternate. So we can go, let's go a couple of 1, 2, 3s and then 1, 2, 3, 2, just for an example. So from here, what I'm going to do goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. So you can alter it and change the angle like that. This is good because it keeps your opponent guessing. It's very good for you as a pad holder if you're moving someone around like this, because they're alternating the angle and they're showing a very high level of skill. So whether or not you do this in sparring is up to you, but this is a very, very important and vital drill, important to fluidity of footwork, but I cannot stress enough how precise you have to be about the minor details. These minor details are the kind of things that we'll be teaching you on the Boxercise Advanced Skills course. It's this precision of footwork that makes all the difference in the transference of the basic drills into more advanced drills. Now, for those of you that are Boxercise instructors, you want to stop at this point and on pad work. Now, for those of you who are watching this who are boxing coaches, well, then you're going to be doing these drills with interference, and that interference is going to be during sparring. So I'll put the sparring footage on for you to watch, and then you guys will be able to see some people doing it well and a couple of people making some mistakes. You'll see in the sparring footage that we're using two versions of defending a jab cross hook, which was the drill that we did here, because we only did this for the lead foot and sparring. Don't do too many drills at once. And the first one for jab cross hook was we went parry block like this. We also did parry block with a roll underneath, and you'll see particularly one of the guys doing that very well. That worked well for him. And we also experimented with a different version, which was slip, roll. There, boom, boom, boom. And again, don't go teaching that unless you know how to teach the slips and the rolls. But that's a really two very different tactics to avoid that thing. And you'll see them doing that with this footwork. So I'll put that footage in now so you can see it.
Yes. And again. Okay, Dan, now just step in. Step in and out to an angle. There you go. 2 moves there, 1 to 1. That's better. And again. Perfect.